Ah, shit. Kevin and ABQ's getting no audio, and I just figured out why. Um, Damn it. Okay, so I had the microphone muted. Okay, so yeah, welcome to my welcome to Miles Culture Plate. I'm your host, Mild Kevin Miles, drinking the Egan's whiskey to say hello to you folks. I'm on 5 of the 6 platforms. We are not on Facebook today. No Facebook. For some reason, Rumble Studio would not connect to Facebook. But welcome and cheers. Cheers to Kevin and ABQ. Cheers to Kevin and ABQ over on Rumble. You can find me on Rumble, and then down in the description on Rumble, you can find all the other platforms I just mentioned. And usually on those platforms, you can find links to the Rumble. So there we go. But yes, Hunter Biden has been convicted on all 3 felonies of lying on a gun form, lying to a federally licensed gun dealer, making a false claim on the application saying he was not a drug user, and illegally having the gun for 11 days. So those are the 3 charges. So the trial featured his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, who testified that he was on drugs at that time. We covered some of the trial last week on the show. Let's see. No one in this country is above the law, said Weiss, the Trump-nominated U.S. Attorney for Delaware, who's named special counsel by Attorney General Merrick Garland in August. Everyone must be held accountable for their actions. Biden's lawyer argued he did not consider himself an addict when he bought the gun. Okay, but the federal form doesn't say addict, it said user. Hunter Biden's legal troubles aren't over. He faces a trial in September in California on charges of failing to pay $1.4 million in taxes. Republicans have signaled they will keep going after him in their stalled impeachment effort into the president. The president has not been accused or charged with any wrongdoing by prosecutors investigating his son. Last year, it appeared Hunter Biden would avoid the spectacle of the trial close to the election. Under a deal with prosecutors, he was supposed to plead guilty. Yeah, the sweet plea deal that crumbled. All right, we're gonna move on. Sort of. We're not really gonna move on. We're gonna move to other coverage of this Hunter Biden story. We reported the other day that Joe Biden had apparently had a soundbite where he said he would not pardon Hunter if found guilty by a jury of his peers. Well, of course, that in true Democrat fashion, uh, backtracking on doing the right thing is happening. We have the White House won't rule out commuting Hunter Biden's sentence. The White House Wednesday didn't rule out President Biden commuting the sentence of his son Hunter Biden after the jury reached the guilty verdict. Administration officials were peppered with questions for the first time since the verdict during a gaggle with reporters on Air Force One while the president was en route for Italy. The president previously said he would not pardon his son, and after the younger Biden was found guilty on Tuesday, he said he would accept the outcome of the trial. But when asked about commuting a sentence, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre dodged the question and leaned on Biden's response on ABC last week that he wouldn't pardon his son. I haven't spoken to the president about this since the verdict came out, and as we all know, the sentencing hasn't even been scheduled yet, she said. He was asked about a pardon. He was asked about the trial specifically and answered it very clearly, very forthright. As we know, the sentencing hasn't even been scheduled yet. I don't have anything beyond what the president said. He's been very clear about this, she added. So again, this is playing word games, right? I'm not going to pardon him, but we might commute his sentence. We might just maybe commute that sentence. Yeah, fun times. And so the crazy left, right? The Donald Trump derangement people. I heard a lot of takes from the right wing that the far left wingers would use this as a reason to go after Trump, right? That this idea that quote unquote no one is above the law that the left wing would use this to undermine it. And honestly, I didn't think it would happen. I didn't think we would hear that bad take from left wingers. But CNN, as always, proved me wrong. Check out this headline. The Hunter Biden conviction shatters Trump's persecution narrative. Wow. An unprecedented 2 weeks of legal drama that yielded historic convictions of a former president and a sitting president's son have also produced a clear political takeaway. The survival of rule of law in America and untainted justice may depend on the choice that voters make in November. Oh, God. That's from Stephen Collinson of the CNN. We're not going to hash out this whole thing, but, we'll see. They're going into, this discredits claims that Trump made. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see who sees jail time if either of them do, right? We will see if either of them see jail time. Okay, now this next news story, we're going to have to say a big thank you from Libs of TikTok. Big thank you from Libs of TikTok for this next news story. We got the Biden regime just banned a company from selling an energy drink depicting Joe Biden. They claim this depiction is detrimental to national security and public perception, and it's, quote, in a manner that is misleading or inappropriate and, quote, poses a risk to the integrity of the office. And you click the screenshot here. To whom it may concern, this letter serves as formal notice from the Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security, regarding unauthorized and inaccurate depiction of the President of the United States in your products, GG Energy Lean and GG Caffeine Free Lean. It has come to our attention that these products are currently being marketed and sold by Gamer Sups, and they present a misrepresentation of the president, which could be seen as detrimental to national security, public perception, particularly during the upcoming election period. Secret Service demands that Gamer Sups immediately cease and desist all marketing, distribution, and sales of the aforementioned products. The depiction of the president in a manner that is misleading or inappropriate poses a significant risk to the integrity of the office and the security of the nation. You're hereby instructed to immediately remove from all online marketplaces. Kevin and ABQ says Gamer Sups pulled the tweet. Might be bogus. Well, we do have a short follow-up on that. We have Demon's Wrath saying, sup, boys and gays. Boys and goys. I'm sorry, boys and goys over on Rumble. And here I'm trying to, this is the sad thing about trying to give people a toast on Rumble Studio, because I have your tweet up, or your message up rather, right? Like that. But then it hides my camera unless I go full screen with myself. Like, cheers, brother, toast. I got to remember to go full screen whenever I have messages on the screen. Okay, so I don't think so, right? And so here's the image. Here's the image that's Deeves Rat says boys and gays is funny. Maybe I'll use that one next time. So here's the image that's in dispute here from the Secret Service. And so here is the current website for Gamer Sups right here. So either Kevin and ABQ is correct, and this is just a marketing grift, or this is one of the funniest jokes ever, or they are being censored. I don't know. I found this hilarious. Either way, the idea of putting a mustache and glasses on this individual who shall not be named, I thought it was pretty funny. Sorry. Okay, so we have some breaking news from the AP over the last few hours. We had the Southern Baptist Convention, and the Southern Baptists narrowly rejected a formal ban on churches with women pastors. So from the AP here, Southern Baptists narrowly rejected blah, blah, blah. The measure received support from 61% of the delegates, but it failed to get the two-thirds supermajority. The action reversed a preliminary vote last year in favor of the official ban. It still leaves the Southern Baptist Convention with its official doctrinal statement saying that the office of pastor is limited to men. Even the opponents of the ban said they favored that doctrinal statement, but didn't think it was necessary to reinforce it in the Constitution. Opponents noted that the SBC can already oust churches that assert women can serve as pastors, as it did last year and again did Tuesday night. The vote was perhaps most highly anticipated of the annual meeting, reflecting the years of debate in the United States' largest Protestant denomination. It was the final day of the SBC's two-day annual meeting in Indianapolis, where Southern Baptists have also elected a new convention president and approved a non-binding resolution cautioning couples about using in vitro fertilization. In the resolution, messengers urged couples to consider the ethical implications of reproductive technology like IVF. It has become a prominent issue in the wake of an IVF controversy in Alabama, which shielded IVF providers from prosecution in civil lawsuits after a state Supreme Court ruling said frozen embryos are children. The SBC resolution agrees that embryos are children regardless of location in or outside the womb. The resolution expressed alarm over the fact that IVF treatment commonly produces surplus embryos that are frozen, with most unquestionably destined for destruction. All right, so there you have it. You have the Southern Baptists not issuing a full-on ban on women pastors, but they can still kick your church out anyway if you do it. But they did issue caution that IVF does kill excess embryos that are indeed children. Okay, so there we go. The Southern Baptists making their mark for the year 2024. Okay, real quick in news, we're not going to get too deep in. We have the dollar and the euro halted on Russia's biggest exchange due to new U.S. sanctions. New U.S. sanctions against Russia will shut down trading in dollars and euros on its leading financial marketplace, the Moscow Exchange, the Bourse and the central bank said on Wednesday. Due to the introduction of the restrictive measures by the United States against the Moscow Exchange Group, exchange trading and settlements of deliverable instruments in U.S. dollars and euros are suspended, the central bank said. It added that it would use over-the-counter trading data to set official exchange rates for dollar and euro. The bank rushed out a statement despite a public holiday in Russia to reassure people that their dollar and euro deposits were secure. Companies and individuals can continue to buy and sell U.S. dollars and euros through Russian banks. All funds in U.S. dollars and euros in the accounts and deposits of citizens and companies remain safe, it said. The Moscow Exchange also said share trading and money markets trade settled in dollars and euros would cease. So there we go. Fun times in the global marketplace. Fun times. Okay. We're going to just keep hammering some news stories here because I don't have a lot of the viral videos today. I will admit we don't have a lot of the viral videos today. But in hot news of the day here, also from NBC News, the House has voted to hold Attorney General Garland in contempt over the Biden audio. Republicans had demanded the Justice Department turn over audio of Joe Biden's interview with special counsel Robert Hur, saying the transcripts were not sufficient. The Republican-controlled House narrowly voted to hold Merrick Garland in contempt, a major escalation in the GOP's war against a justice system that the party has portrayed as unfairly targeting Donald Trump. The vote was 216 to 207, with one Republican, David Joyce of Ohio, joining all Democrats in voting no. 7 Democrats and 1 Republican did not vote. At issue was Garland's failure to hand over the audio of special counsel Robert Hur's interview with Joe Biden about his handling of classified documents. Republicans had demanded the audio after Hur declined to prosecute Biden, in part because a jury might sympathize with him as, quote, an elderly man with a poor memory. Democrats countered that the full transcript of the Biden interview had already been released to the public, and they sounded warnings that Republicans could manipulate the audio. Despite the successful contempt vote, it's largely a political exercise. Biden and his administration have asserted executive privilege in refusing to hand over the audio, all but eliminating the possibility that Garland would be prosecuted for ignoring the subpoenas. It's also unheard of for the Justice Department prosecutors to go after the head of their own agency over a contempt issue. Yes, Garland would essentially have to prosecute himself for this. I would expect this to go nowhere. But, here we have the official statement retweeted over here by Mike Cernovich. Mike Cernovich said the Biden audio isn't covered under executive privileges. This is a made-up lie by Garland and his criminal enablers. So here's the tweet. It is deeply disappointing that this House of Representatives has turned a serious congressional authority into a partisan weapon. Today's vote disregards the constitutional separation of powers, the Justice Department's need to protect its investigators, and the substantial amount of information we've provided to the committee. I will always stand up for this department, its employees, and its vital mission to defend our democracy. So here we have yet another situation where you have Congress and the executive branch kind of going at each other. Yet another one. And that it doesn't stop there, folks. It doesn't stop there. Let's keep this same ball rolling with Congress versus the executive branch. We have Representative Tim Burchett issuing this statement here to Chairman James Comer on the House Committee on Oversight. Dear Chairman, thank you for your commitment to improving the integrity and accountability of the federal government. As a member of the Committee on Oversight and Accountability, I write to request an immediate investigation into Secretary Antony Blinken and certain former intelligence officials for interfering in the 2020 presidential election. As you know, on October 19th, 51 former senior intelligence officials signed a public letter regarding a New York Post story revealing Hunter Biden's laptop contained emails suggesting he was attempting to provide Ukrainian energy officials access to then Vice President Joseph R. Biden. Specifically, the former intelligence officials stated emails purportedly belonging to the vice president's son, Hunter, much of it relating to his time serving on the board of Ukrainian gas company Burisma, has all the classic earmarks of a Russian info operation. Depositions conducted by this committee confirmed that Hunter Biden and Devon Archer communicated about a trip to Ukraine by then Vice President Joe Biden. Additionally, the U.S. Department of Justice confirmed the laptop's legitimacy in United States America versus Hunter v. Biden, or v. versus Hunter, Robert Hunter Biden, and used photos and videos from the laptop to convict Hunter Biden of felony gun charges. Finally, former CIA Deputy Director Michael Morell testified that then Biden campaign advisor and current Secretary of State Antony Blinken played a role in the inception of the public letter. These findings suggest the Biden campaign conspired with former intelligence officials to mislead the American public and influence the 2020 presidential election. For these reasons, I respectfully request the Committee on Oversight and Accountability call on Secretary of State Antony Blinken and the former intelligence officials who signed the public letter to testify about their actions before Congress. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So here we go, folks. We've got more instances now of Congress wagging their finger that they're going to do things to the Biden administration. And, they've been doing the same thing for 4 years. I'm doing the Biden whisper thing. I shouldn't do that. They have been doing this shit for 4 years, wagging their damn finger and not doing shit about it. It's telling that Cernovich had to retweet that, right? it's telling that so many Republicans had to fight their subpoenas, right? And had to do jail time. Anyway, meanwhile, in regards to Democrats being criminals, folks, let's do this. Let's get ready for a double down. Are you ready for a double down? Are you ready for a double down on not accepting blame for your bullshit? You want somebody who should be in front of Congress right now? Andrew Cuomo. This is from the New York Post. Andrew Cuomo repeats his infamous "Who cares" line on nursing home COVID deaths in a congressional interview. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo repeated his infamous "Who cares" line during a grilling by a House committee Tuesday about his administration's decision to send infected COVID-19 patients into nursing homes, resulting in thousands of deaths during the pandemic, according to a readout of his testimony released Wednesday by Republicans. So here we go. This is a closed committee. Republican majority staff from the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic said Cuomo deflected responsibility throughout the 7-hour interview about his administration's devastating March 2020 must-admit order that shuttled sick patients into senior care facilities statewide. A transcript of the testimony has yet to be released, and reps for Cuomo who were present for the interview have disputed some of the claims. During the closed-door session, the 66-year-old Cuomo blamed an unidentified staff member at the New York Health Department for drafting the directive. He also claimed it mirrored federal guidance and was not mandatory, and dismissed the premise of the House probe as, quote, part of an ongoing political attack. But Republicans on the panel pushed back and forced Cuomo to acknowledge the language of the state order differed from D.C.'s guidance. House GOP conference chairwoman Elise Stefanik and other members told reporters. They, Cuomo and his then staff, want to assert that order is exactly the same as the federal one, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Service Guidelines, but it is not, Upstate Rep. Mark Molinaro said on Tuesday during a break in the proceedings. The state order says you shall take back individuals and you cannot deny them solely on the basis of COVID, which left nursing homes no option but to accept individuals that we knew would cause risk to other patients, he explained. Molinaro also accused Cuomo's administration of having cooked the books on the death count, which was later confirmed by 2 state investigations once they, quote, knew that the order was causing great loss. Cuomo is a damn scumbag for this. When pressed to explain the discrepancy between the reported death count and the true mortality rate, Mr. Cuomo was shockingly callous, testifying 6,500 versus 9,000. Who cares? What difference did it make? Well, folks, if you're living in New York or you have a loved one in New York that died of COVID, they could be one of those 2,500. That 2,500 is an important 2,500. And trying to make it seem like people's family members didn't die because of something this man forced them into is fucking callous and cold. He seems to feel very little remorse. Brad Winstrom of Ohio told the Post and other reporters after his interview with the ex-governor. Often he would be talking about a certain number of deaths in a certain place, and to him they were just numbers. Just numbers. It is mind-blowing to me that the governor, who was late to rescind or amend that directive that went out about putting COVID patients or untested patients back into nursing homes, Winstrop added, he was the one who put the executive order out to amend it, but when it came to the directive itself, he had no idea where it came from and still does not. No responsibility. I don't know where the buck stops, added Winstrop, one of several doctors on the panel and a retired Army colonel who had received a Bronze Star for his work as a combat surgeon. The spokeswoman for the House Subcommittee Majority also told the Post that Cuomo used the phrases, "who cares" and "what is the difference" numerous times. A representative for Democratic minority did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The point was there was no discrepancy, as all categories were contained in the overall death number that was never in dispute, Cuomo spokesman Rich Azzopardi said in a statement. Okay, but having a parent die of COVID at home because they had no choice, because life just happened to him, as opposed to having a relative die of COVID because good old Cuomo forced them into a nursing home where other sick people were. Yeah, no. There is a difference. What the Republicans couldn't explain was why 1.2 million Americans died during this pandemic, more than any other country in any other war, under the lack of leadership from Trump that continues to this day as they put a podiatrist in charge of the COVID committee, he added in a direct attack against Winstrup. Wow. The absolute fuck. Oh my God. Auditors confirmed that Albany's Department of Health had misled the public by leaving out at least 4,100 nursing home deaths due to COVID-19 and had conformed its presentation to the executive's narrative, meaning Cuomo. Winstrup indicated it was very likely the former governor, who may challenge Eric Adams for New York City mayor in 2025, will be back in Congress this year for a public hearing. It's not only just the people in New York that deserve this, because they do, but I think the whole country does. And yes, as a man in Kansas, I fully support this. Fucking scumbag. All right. Another story we won't be diving deep in, but I found was an interesting news report from The Guardian. We have a rare white buffalo born at Yellowstone, prompting a Lakota and Sioux celebration. Rare white buffalo has been born in Yellowstone National Park, with the arrival prompting local Lakota Sioux leaders to plan a special celebration, with the calf representing a sign of hope and the need to look after the planet. The white calf was reportedly spotted shortly after its birth on Tuesday last week by park visitor Erin Broughton, a photographer. She took several shots of the wobbly baby. After spotting it in a herd of buffalo in the northeastern corner of the park, located in Wyoming and a small slice of Montana. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, she told ABC News. It was so surreal. I just knew it was something special and one of the coolest things I have ever photographed. Park officials at Yellowstone are yet to confirm the birth, although members of the Lakota Sioux tribe will hold a ceremony to celebrate the arrival at the headquarters of the Buffalo Field Campaign, which advocates for animals in West Yellowstone, on the 26th of June. There we go. There are good things happening in the world, people. Good things happening in the world. Very good things happening in the world. But obviously, not in New York nursing homes. And also not at CVS drug manufacturing laboratories. This is from KTLA 5 in Los Angeles. CVS product recalls tied to factories with barefoot workers and bacteria, says Bloomberg. CVS recalls its generic products more than its competitors, a trend that coincides with the company's use of manufacturers whose facilities have been infiltrated with bacteria, and whose employees work barefoot, according to a report by Bloomberg. Quote, over the last decade, CVS has hired at least 15 manufacturers that were cited for manufacturing problems, more than twice as many as Walgreens. Reporters Edney and Peter Robeson explain. This led to 133 recalls of CVS store brand drugs, an average of more than one a month in that time frame for both pediatric and adult medications, according to the Bloomberg News review of FDA data. Over that same period, Walgreens had 70 and Walmart had 51. The Bloomberg report makes the case that these recalls are connected to CVS's use of manufacturers like Unipharma LLC of Florida, which the FDA determined, quote, had been ignoring test results that showed water used in its drug making was contaminated with a bacteria that could be deadly to children with weakened immune systems. Another facility, this one in India. Oh no, not the Indians. Not the Indians. Shout out to the Indians on X. Please don't come after me. This isn't my fault. I'm not saying this. This is this article here. Please. Pajit Twitter, please don't. Another facility, this one in India, was discovered by FDA investigators to have, quote, peeling paint, barefoot workers, and fabricated test results that gave the appearance of product safety at the facility. Samples taken at the factory also found bacteria in crucial parts of the production facility, Edney and Robeson reported. While the FDA had warned consumers not to use certain eye drops on October 27th, the drugstore chain still had them on sale 2 weeks later when a New York woman who is suing CVS over tainted eye drops bought them. Unipharma is now defunct, and the Indian company didn't respond to her request to comment, but CVS has disputed the allegations. A CVS spokesperson, Amy Thibault, told Bloomberg that CVS prioritizes good manufacturing and ethical sourcing practices and the ability to meet our strict standards and testing practices. When replying to the New York woman's suit, CVS claimed, quote, it isn't responsible for the manufacturing process or the quality controls of the factories that make its drugs. Fun times over at the CVS pharmacy. Folks, if you're not convinced that they're trying to kill us, what will convince you? Oh, how about this? How about Suge Knight, claiming that Diddy is an FBI informant. From prison, Suge Knight is making his voice loud and clear about his biggest rival in the music industry, Sean Diddy Combs. During the latest episode of his podcast, Collect Call with Suge Knight, he gave his insight on Diddy, claiming that the controversial hip-hop mogul has been an FBI informant for a long time now, and it's something people in the industry have known for a while. It's a lot of things people have been knowing, and everyone gets judged differently. It shouldn't be a gray area when it comes to doing something right, doing something positive, or doing something for the community, Knight said. That being said, naturally, Puffy been an FBI informant forever. As they would say, that's why it's different when it comes to him. Regardless of who all gets hurt, everybody been saying is Puffy, Puffy, Puffy. I think they shouldn't blame everything on Puffy. His exes in the industry knew about it. Everybody in his crew knew about it. The bitches he dates knew about it. Everybody knew about it. Don't push away from it now. Although we don't know for sure if Diddy is an informant for the FBI, it's a thought others have expressed in the past. Just a month ago, conservative personality Candace Owens, which, by the way, welcome back to the Candace Owens podcast. Yeah, it's pretty cringe. But anyway, welcome back to the Candace Owens podcast. Anyway, Candace Owens theorized that Diddy was not imprisoned following the release of the Cassie surveillance video from 2016 because he was an informant, writing on X, quote, he's not in jail because he's a Fed asset. The LA District Attorney's Office posted that the statute on limitations on arresting Diddy over the Cassie attack has passed. This is also something Kanye alluded to in his infamous 2022 interview with Drink Champs, where he said, as far as Meek Mill, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these ninjas, all you fake hard ninjas, fuck you. You can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. That's why you got to come at me, because you part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is you promise that you're going to go pull my card. Though he's not directly connected to Diddy's legal problems, it was rumored that the music mogul's father, Melvin Combs, was a police informant and is part of the reason he was murdered in 1972. It has never been confirmed and was even shot down by infamous drug lord turned informant Frank Lucas in his 2010 book, Original Gangster. So there we go. We have, everybody claiming Diddy is a Fed. Okay, now, let's do this here. Let's bring that down. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's get into some of the viral videos of the day. Hang on, I gotta see which one it is here. Oh, did I delete them all? Oh, man. I don't have the crackers and cheese graphic anymore. I don't have the crackers and cheese graphic anymore. But here's the crackers and cheese of the day. Have you seen these folks? Have you seen this family going around the internet? Now, again, some people will dispute that Italians can be crackers. Some people would dispute whether or not Italians could be crackers, or that this is wholesome in any way. But sometimes the crackers and cheese is just about crackers being cheesy, whether it's wholesome or whether it's cringe. I personally find this cringe, but there have been a lot of people talking about these videos, and I've seen these people a few times.
It's a double chunk It's a triple chunk chocolate cookie. Let's see where the triple chunk chocolate cookie stacks up on the boom meter. You already know what I'm gonna do. Boom! 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 Boom!
Okay, that's enough of that. I mean, look, we get later in the video. They got grandma.
Nice cookie. Okay. Good. What's it get on the boom meter? A 5. All right. Boom.
Yeah. No. Okay. I can't. Look. This is insanely cringe, right? But the internet's been a little divided. Like, is this wholesome? Right? Is it wholesome? I personally think it's cringe. They're not hurting anyone, right? They're not poisoning. This isn't pornography. But at the same time, this is 3 minutes, like 2.5 minutes here. The Demon's Wrath says, hell yeah. Cheers, man. Cheers to that. 2.5 minutes of literally nothing, no content. This is pointless. Everything about this is pointless. I see what you did there, man. Yes, reading from the lovely script of the Unbreaded there. Cheers, man. And so, yeah, they're not hurting anybody, but I think this does hurt, right? Our next generation, we already have so many distractions. We already have so much content, and especially this is part of the TikTokification of America, right? This idea that everyone has a 2-minute attention span. And these people are taking up literally, 3 minutes of people's time to watch it. I still have not watched this whole video forward to back. And I refuse to. But it's a controversy right now. People are hating on them, and then other people are saying, "Oh yeah, no, it's wholesome. You should you should be glad this exists, because at least if the kids are watching this, they're not watching porn. And I'm sitting here like, well, wait, why can't we just have wholesome, like actual wholesome versions of this shit? Right? Why can't we teach our kids to not be dumb? Because this is literally bottom common denominator dumb. I don't know. So oh my God. On Saturday we had a video, and I've got to set this one up, because this is gonna be quite the conversation here. I've got to set this one up, because Saturday we showed a video on Saturday that I responded to from the next individual we're going to show here. And I'm going to call this the psyops, thirst trap, shitposts, and grifts of the day, because this shit has exploded. Now, we didn't cover this video. This video actually went viral like a day or two later. But we watched a different video from this person, and this person has had a couple of viral videos lately. And now the entire internet is talking about her. And you know exactly who I'm talking about if you've been anywhere near Twitter or Facebook or TikTok. You have seen this story. You know who I'm talking about. And we'll watch the controversial video, and we'll talk a little bit about it. I won't belabor the point, because, like I said, everyone else is talking about it, and I'm only covering it just to cover my bases, because this was a story I was covering. This was an individual I covered on my last show. So I'm just bringing people up to speed before I give my final thoughts on this individual. So you got this person.
Okay, this time I have a beef with the male community. I give my criticisms to all, because we are all about equity and inclusion here, right? So I'm sick.
Okay, so you heard some buzzwords there. I want you to pay real close attention, because I'm gonna use this to explain why I think this is a psyop, a thirst trap, a shift post, and a grift.
I'm tired of all girls getting blamed.
Okay, first off, okay, so yes, you heard the buzzwords. You heard that she's trying to do the men versus women thing. The third thing, pay real close attention to how much shit she's putting on this chicken. Look at all the shit she's putting on this chicken. This is insane.
Or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if it's because you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami at 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub. You're getting the opinion of some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Jesus. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke.
Yeah, see, and this is okay. So yes. And I just literally interrupted the most important part of the video, but I have to say, right before she said that, she said, they're the exception, I'm the rule, right? I represent all of women, right? All American women. I am the... Really? What happened next?
Right, married to broke-ass niggas.
That word happened next. Hey, we got Billdozer74 over there on Rumble. Cheers and welcome, brother. Good seeing you. Racking up them views on the Rumble. Doing a good job on his channel. So yeah, she just dropped an N-bomb, and that started this whole controversy that I'm about to mention. But first, I want to address the rest of the shit she says in this video.
And they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money. I couldn't care less about your fucking money, okay? My type is broke mechanics.
Okay, so yeah, we've addressed that in your previous couple of videos that we've covered on this show. And now you're making me sorry that I covered your previous videos on this show. Because yes, as I said previously, yeah, you're just into fucking bad boys, right? You're just into bad boys. And this is reinforcing it. You know... Again, I don't have my... Damn it, I need to keep my damn... my HOMATH poster nearby. Because yes, when women are attracted to men, it's not all gold diggery, right? You only want to extract resources from the men you would gold dig, right? But the men who mentally excite you, who get your ovaries hard, right? Those kind of men, those are your broke ass ninjas, right? Those are those guys. All right. So she's stating a point that nobody's making and saying, well, it's wrong because of the other aspect of the point that people do make.
And surfer hippie dudes who just want to live in a shack and surf and have babies. All I ask of a man is that you're competent,
I wonder what competent
you're not a pussy.
means.
If somebody broke into our house at 3 a.m., you would know how to grab a gun and shoot a motherfucker.
Okay.
That's pretty much all we ask. Like, that's
again, look at all the pepper.
Like all girls, I know. I don't know one girl.
She dumped the whole thing of I don't know if it was seasoning, salt,
us all under the bus.
garlic powder.
We're all gold diggers because we don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your money. My dating history consists of all broke guys. I actually don't.
Okay, but that says a lot about your picker, lady. Demon's Rest says not enough pepper. Man, she's been cranking on that thing like it was her broke surfer boyfriend's wang.
Even like rich guys, they have an attitude. They're spoiled brats.
And look, now the other half of the
life. I was raised on a farm with 4 brothers, so I can't deal with the bullshit. I don't like a pussy. I hate pussies. So stop with the gold digger.
Okay. So yeah, she's objecting to the term gold digger, and I think the reason she dropped the M-bomb, is the she was making a play off the gold digger song, right? Like you see that's the connection here. But because she went viral on the internet, now everyone's talking about whether or not a white girl should have said the N-word. And apparently she's been fired. Newly hired employee made inflammatory remarks on social media that do not align with the values and beliefs of our company. We want to make it clear these sentiments are not representative of our organization, and we do not condone or support such behavior. As soon as we were made aware of the situation, we took immediate action to pull the employee from her assignment, which is not directly with any client of ours. The employee in question is no longer with our company. We're owned and operated by African-American female and immigrant-owned business and handled the situation as quickly as we could. We want to assure you that we are committed to fostering a diverse and inclusive and respectful work environment where all individuals are valued and respected. We understand the importance of upholding our principles of equality and understanding, and we will continue to strive to create a culture of respect within our organization. We appreciate the support and trust of our community, and we are dedicated to earning back any confidence that may have been shaken by this unfortunate incident. TL, Roe for the Carolinas. I don't know what that is. I don't even know if that's an actual company. I could be wrong. This whole thing. So since everyone was offended at her using the soft A, right? Since everyone was offended, she's since doubled down. She posted a video essentially affirming her First Amendment right to say the N-word. Yeah. Cheers to that. But she's also said, thank you to those who want to censor me because now I can get on the conservative grift. She's now been on InfoWars. She's been on a couple of other podcasts. She keeps reposting some death threats that are being sent to her, such as this. Oh, sorry. Damn scroll. Right? She keeps posting stuff like this. No, this is her Twitter account, by the way. I'm kind of pulling a lot of this from. But yeah, she was on InfoWars. She's doubled and tripled down. There was another video of hers that went viral since then where she's talking essentially about how the woke mob who's running our movies and TV were the same nerds that they picked on in high school. I don't agree with that. Us real nerds, us real theater nerds, disavow those people. But anyway, it's something to look out for because, quite frankly, I don't know. To me, it seems like, while I agree, anybody should be able to say whatever words you want. I say retard on this show all the time. You know what? Here, I forgot a news story that I wanted to cover. I forgot a news story that I wanted to cover, but it goes right in line with this. So yeah, I think anybody should be able to say whatever they want, especially like if you're. Damn it. And of course, the story I wanted to show is behind a damn paywall here, but I'll bring it up real quick. Pope Francis repeats anti-gay slur in meeting with priests. The pontiff reported to have again used the term faggotry when discussing the issue of homosexuality among men training in seminaries. So yeah, I think if you're the Pope, you should be allowed to say that word. But again, the question is, okay, well, words should have consequences. Well, what should those consequences be? And yeah, if you're part of a woke mob on the internet trying to get people fired, trying to get people banned from websites, that's called cancel culture. If it's just people not buying your product or people not inviting you on their podcast, I don't consider that cancel culture. Anywho, that's that. I did see this. I wanted to bring this up just for a moment because one of the things I like to talk about is the upcoming financial collapse here. I wanted to bring this video up real quick. This was something I just happened to stumble across in my browsing. I don't think it's a super important. It might even be an old video. Looks like it was pieced together by a fucking AI and that it's not real. But I did find it interesting because I still got the psyops, thirst trap, shit posts, and grifts because I do think this is a fucking psyop. I do think the fact that you're seeing more of this shit being shared on places like TikTok and Twitter and YouTube Shorts, I think it's a little frightening. And I think it's propaganda meant to indoctrinate us into being comfortable with this kind of shit. And are you ready to see it? Okay, check this out.
Little John moved bricks from childhood to buy a tiny 2-square-meter house where he can't even stretch. It resembles his second aunt's hometown. Cleverly, he made a mini kitchen in one corner and placed a small washing machine for washing and drying clothes. He installed a wall-mounted shower and a folding chair for comfortable showers, adding a toilet to make it a bathroom. He used durable tiles for the walls. Next to it, he made a pull-out board for dining that doesn't take up space when folded. Above, he welded a galvanized steel frame, fixed it with screws borrowed from his aunt, and wrapped it in eco-friendly wood veneer.
Screws borrowed
Another
from
steel
his aunt?
frame supported slatted frames for comfortable sleep. He installed a safety belt to prevent falling and added hydraulic support rods to adjust his sleeping position. A row of wall cabinets opposite.
He sleeps vertically. Obviously this is fake and gay, right? This is fake and gay. This is dumb. This is fake and gay. But, it's meant to engage us in the conversation of Well, you know, maybe if the bed wasn't vertical, it wouldn't be so bad living in a 3x3 space. Yes, it would be bad living in a 3x3 space.
It holds books, and a clothes hanger keeps his clothes organized. Next to it, a chopping board reveals the downstairs when opened, with 3 drawers beside it for an independent area. A ladder on top makes it easy to sleep there. A key
He
feature
cooks
is the
next to
drawer
his
with a
toilet.
barber shoe cabinet and a lens cabinet for storing items and organizing his appearance. Now let's take a
Folks,
look at
don't
the
cook next
overall
to your
effect.
toilet.
Little John moved bricks from childhood to buy a tiny 2 square.
Yeah, so it's 2 square meter house. 2 square meter house. Folks, do not eat the bugs. Do not take the microchip. Do not live in the pod. Please don't. Please don't. All right. Gotta keep scrolling up and down. I need to really change the layout of my windows here. All right, let's see here. Oh, I'm even in the wrong damn window. What am I doing? Okay. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Let's take down the PSYOPs, thirst trap, shit posts, and grifts and get into the gender crazy of the week. Now, honestly, I ran out of time searching for the gender crazy of the week. So I really only have one. We will have one more viral video after that. So let's check the one viral video here, the one gender crazy video I have for you folks. Let's check this out. This is from Mittens on Twitter at JustCatMeme. So yeah, I found this. Thought it was suitable for this this segment. It's not exactly a gender thing, but it's close enough.
Thanks for coming over. I had a really nice night.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been with a weircat before.
That's enough. Okay, maybe you can pet me a little more. That's enough. Okay, maybe a little more. That's enough. Thanks for coming over. I had a really
Okay. Now I can't express how absurd that clip is. Like, for one, don't date chicks that have to dress like animals. Please don't. Please don't date chicks that dress like furries. Furries are bad enough, right? But this is no, just don't do it. Don't do it. And this passive aggressive pet me, but no, get the fuck away. Like this, no, just no. Demons Rat says, grab a bag of kibble and shake it. Oh my God. We're witnessing the degeneracy and the destruction of our society in videos like this. So unfortunately, yeah, that's all I really had for the gender crazy of the week. It's not really gender, but come on. Just don't do it. Just don't deal with crazy people who think they're what they're not and act like what they're not and use it as an excuse to abuse you. Okay, one last video that has been circling the internet and causing a debate amongst people, and then we'll wrap the show up. Oh, share this tab instead. There we go.
I sent a Venmo request for $36 to my son's friend's mom after they came to our house for a play date, and she sent me the
This should be part of the
rudest
grips.
response. I do not think
I think this is
I
a
was in the
shit
wrong
post.
here.
I think this is a shit post. So this woman is saying that her kid's friend came over to play, and because she had to, feed him and do other stuff, and she'll get into it. We'll watch the rest of the video here in just a second. She charged the kid's parent $36 for hanging out at her house.
But read these text messages and let me know what you think. So I sent over my Venmo request, and it just said, hey, I had a great play date. I sent you a Venmo for $36 for food and supplies. So this other mom said, like, thanks for the hospitality, but this is like a price gouging scheme to like make money, and they called it like a bill. I had a feeling that this might happen.
Oh God.
So while
itemized
her
it.
son was over, I just kept on my notes tab
She
a
itemized the
running
shit.
tab of everything
She
that
itemized
her son
kids
used
fucking
during the
hanging
play
out.
date. I made sure to put all the food her
45
son
minutes of
ate.
this cannot
I
be
counted
fucking
the
real, right?
number of pumps that they used of soap when
This
he
has to
washed
be
his
as fake and
hands.
gay as you can get
They
on the
played
internet.
video games for 45 minutes. So I calculated how much that electricity
10 minutes of
cost
marker
was and then
use.
divided it by 2. So for my son and her son.
This is like the viral
And then
video
he
we
did
did where
spill his
the women were itemizing their makeup costs and said, "Well, that's why you should pay on a first date because my makeup costs this much." You know, this is woman mentality, but again, this has to be fake, right? They got like a transaction ID and a doxed email address at the top, which thankfully my banner is covering.
his juice on the carpet. So I charged a cleanup fee, which
Cleanup
just
fee.
is my time for cleaning
My
it up.
time. What
And
about your
the cleaning
time in
supplies
itemizing this
that I
bullshit?
used. Oh, tell me, was I in the wrong here?
Yes, you were in the wrong here. And the fact that you're posting this on the internet means you want to fucking engage people in a conversation about normalizing being cheap asses, right? Because a play date is about socializing. You know, it's kind of like buying somebody a drink at a bar, right? It's not about the price of the drink. You know, and the same thing I was just saying about a first date. It's, you know, you want to itemize your fucking makeup and say I should pay a first date. No, I'm paying for the first date because the money, at some point, the money's not as important to me as having a good conversation with somebody. But if you're going to be a cunt, then the money is important. And so this idea that the money is more important to you than your kid having friends, this has to be fake. Because if we are getting to that point in our society, and don't get me wrong, I do think we are in several fucking ways. And this is a rant that's been coming for a while. Is we have become so disconnected and antisocial because of devices. Because quite frankly, I'm better friends with most of y'all watching me right now. Like I connect with y'all more than I connect with my neighbors, you know. And I'm sure you folks do the same. Like you connect with people online more than you connect with your neighbors. And I'm slowly but surely doing little things to change that. But you know, I'm sure my neighbors have been conditioned to do this as well. I'm sure there's people in my community that have been conditioned to do this as well. To prioritize online relationships, to prioritize people who share community things with them than actually socializing in person. That, oh no, that might cost too much. Getting out of the house costs too much. So we all hide in our little basements. Hey, we got Cool Frog over on Rumble. Cheers and welcome, brother. Yeah, more than some in my own household. Yeah. Although there's only 2 others in this household, and yeah, no, I think I'm pretty close to the 2 in my household. I don't think anyone online beats that. But you know, there are definitely some gentlemen whose household, you know, I remember reading something earlier on Twitter about Mia Khalifa, and yeah, I'm sure some gentlemen know her a lot more than they know the people in their household. You know, the pornography stars, right? They care more about their pornography. Yeah, he's saying in general, not me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people in general know more about the pornography stars, know more about Taylor Swift than they know about their own family. It's sad. But again, posting fake content, kind of trying to be, well, am I in the wrong? Well, it creates this feeling that, oh, well, maybe we should be okay with stuff like this. And honestly, I did this rant a couple weeks ago about tipping. It's like, well, how did we get this way? Well, because, being generous toward our servers, kind of snowball. We accepted that, once in a while it's okay to give your server a little money on top of what she's getting paid by her employer or their employer, right? And then it became, well, sometimes we might tip the chef too. And now you can't walk into a place and order food across the counter without putting your card in first and leaving a tip before you even get your food. You can't get an Uber or a DoorDash without leaving a tip before your food even leaves the damn restaurant. And they could be driving all over town with your food, making sure it gets cold, and you could have already given them a good tip, and they're stealing your drink, right? But you just gave them a really good tip, but they stole your drink. And it all started because we were okay with tipping these people, and then we were okay with tipping these people, and we were okay with tipping these people, and now our culture has become so focused on tipping. Anyway, so the same thing with this, right? We're getting so cheap with money that we're willing to sacrifice our own children and their ability to socialize with real kids because we're going to nitpick $36, which shouldn't have even been close to $36 because you're nitpicking shit about marker use and electricity during a video game. No. Again, I refuse to believe it's real, but at the same time, I have to treat it as if it is. Because other idiots will get online and see it and think it's real, and then they will start Venmo requesting their kids' friends' parents. Because that's the type of culture we live in. We see one person do something stupid and think it's a good idea. Because people are cheap and broke and socially broken. But it's important for us to know that it's happening around us. Because you, me, my family members, my grandkids, they're going to be the ones responding to those Venmo requests in the future. Cool Frog says you can't go to a 7-Eleven. Is your 7-Eleven asking for a tip now? Please tell me this isn't true. Jesus. Well, folks, sorry there wasn't more funny videos, right? I try to generally mix up more funny stuff and more crazy stuff. And today was real heavy on the news stories. But sometimes that's the way the news cycle goes. That's the way the trending topics go. I didn't, there's some things I didn't, just don't, there's some things that just don't interest me. But, I'd like to think the things that we covered today was pretty good. But anyway, so folks, please, if you can do me a favor, click that like button. If you happen to be new here, please follow me on whatever platform you're on and follow me on all the other platforms. Like I said, I'm on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, X, Locals, Twitch. I'm live on most of those platforms right now. Not sure why I'm not live on Facebook. I kind of wrongfully called out Twitch a couple of shows ago for Rumble Studio failing to connect. I'm not going to do that with YouTube or Facebook this time. Because, I treated my boy Twitch pretty bad that day. But, I'm not going to assume the worst from Facebook right now, but we'll see. We will see. So yeah, in the meantime, folks, yeah, please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're new here, please watch a second video. Watching 2 videos back to back really helps with the algorithm. And you please come back here. Please come back, say hello in the chat, get your toast. Oh, sorry if that was loud. Cheers to everybody out there. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. And as Cool Frog said, I'll see you all later. Yes, come back and chat this Saturday, 6 p.m. Central. I'm hoping and praying that I might have time, if I'm sober, to do a show on Friday, or at the very least join Cool Frog's show on Friday nights. Cool Frog has an awesome Friday night show. I recommend people check that out. And I'm if I'm sober, I'm gonna try to do one or both, either do my own show or join Cool Frogs. But I don't know how sober I'm gonna be, and I'm not gonna join anyone's stream if I'm smashed. And unfortunately, that day is Donald Trump's birthday Friday. It's Donald Trump's birthday Friday. Yes, yeah. Check out Cool Frog show every night. Yeah. Yeah, check out Cool Frog show every night. He does a show every night, and usually it's pretty damn good. But he invites weirdos like me on the weekends, and so yeah, Friday nights are awesome. But yeah, every night it's awesome. But yeah, I just kind of put my foot in my mouth. I guess it's the whiskey. I blame it on the whiskey. It's definitely not the cocaine and guns. And please. Minnesota, don't raid me. No, but Cool Frog, yes, says yes. Friday night I'll be watching for you. Like I said, I might be hammered because that's President Trump's birthday. President Trump's birthday is Friday. President Trump's birthday is Friday, and I always love to celebrate President Trump's birthday. Flag Day is a very important holiday in my family, and the fact that it's also President Trump's birthday makes it double good. And so, yeah, I will be celebrating that. I will probably be going to an amusement park for part of the day, and I might have a nice dinner, and I'm going to do some drinking and celebrating. And like I said, if I could find time to squeeze an extra show in, I will do so. I kind of have a topic at the top of my head. I don't know how well I'll be able to make that into a watchable program, but I'm going to try. So please come back here. At the very least, come back Saturday, 6 p.m. Central. We're live every Saturday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, right here. Same bat time, same bat channel. Till then, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. Have a wonderful night. Good night.